people join and be part of, oh, now being recorded, so I'm going to start back at the beginning. We are now being recorded. Hello, everyone. My name is Joel Osvedo. I'm a lead in the policy design section here at the C4 CalSAWS project. I've been here since the beginning of the project in 2001, and I'm going to be your host today as we celebrate 20 years of C4. The journey's been 20 years in the making. We've had many people join and be part of this project. Some come and go and come back again, like Greg Fitzgerald, who's been it like 6 times. But we're grateful for the people who have made the project a success from the very beginning. At this time, to start things off, I would like to introduce our Executive Director, John Boulay, who will introduce some distinguished guests. John?
Thanks, Joel. It is so awesome to see everybody. Here I am, I put a jacket on because I was intimidated that Van was going to show up and have a tie on. And I just felt funny not showing up without a tie. But Van, I like to see that you've loosened up and at least you have your button-up shirt with no tie on today. Wow, what a flashback.
I did put on a shirt, you know, because I just got sweatpants the rest of the way.
Hey, Van, I got my favorite work slippers on today for my work from home, you know? I think we're all getting used to this new normal thing. First of all, it is so wonderful seeing you all. I have to admit, when people started saying, hey, we got to have this C4 20th anniversary celebration and get back together, we have just been so slammed with policy that's been coming up in response to the pandemic across all 3 SAW systems, and all the work that's been having to be done to get ready for the 39 C4 counties to be able to transition into CalSAWS in September. And then followed by the 18 counties where it's like, really, we've got so much work to do and everything else like that. And people said, yes, we need to celebrate our past. We need to celebrate what's been done. And I think as I talked with everybody says, you know, this is really our foundation. Upon all of your shoulders, we are creating a single SAW system in this state. And it's all the things that we all learned working for C4 that's put us in a position and opportunity. So everybody, I think part of today is saying thank you. Thank you for your investment and your trust in the project. Thank you to our 39 counties for the trust that you've given us. And we have a lot of work to do, man. But and it's a bit intimidating. But I think you guys have set us up well to do that work. And so today's a celebration of that. It's a celebration of you. 20 years, it's hard to believe. You know, as I came on the project in January of 2005, it was evident that this was a county partnership, a county to county partnership, a county to the private sector partnership, a county and state partnership. And that partnership and delivery were the foundations of this project. Get the work done. Don't be intimidated by the work. Do the right thing. It isn't going to be perfect, but together we will do the right things. And the first section that's up is called Founders. And the founders from the project, many of them are here with us today. Many of them are still working on the project. You know, you just can't get rid of some people. They just keep doing such good work. And some of our directors are also founders. And we're going to hear from some of our directors and our original project steering committee members. But the first few people that we want to hear from is, first of all, Van Vanderside, our project director during C4 DD&I. When I came on board, and I still think to this day, many times, how would Van handle this situation? What would Van be able to do on some of these things? And I think back to the short time that Van and I worked together, and just his fingerprints are still on the SAWS projects. The next person I want to also introduce is Betty Uzipus. You guys know her better as Betty Lundy, many of you people. And Betty has been here all the way since C4 planning, prior to the procurement, to be able to get things here. And Betty is still working for us on Cal Saws, working with Tom, doing the procurements for Cal Saws. And of course, Tom Hartman, who was our Accenture project executive there at every single turn, and now works for the consortium, leading our procurements and being a C4 project director himself and working through that. I knew when I walked in, if you needed to get anything, if there was ever a sticky issue, you would go to Van, Tom, and Betty, and they would figure out what to do, how to do it, and what directors they need to engage with in order to get things done. And we're so happy that that both Tom and Betty are still working with us. We also have from our founders, it was always been a county-state partnership, and Chris Dudley has been around OSI for a long period of time. Just about a year ago or so, she retired, and it was always a partnership with the state. And Chris, I think over the years, we have always sort of thought of her as part of the Saws family. She's been there at many twists and turns throughout. So those are the people that I would really like to hear from to start this this celebration off. So Van, I'm going to take some executive privilege and put you on the spot first. Unless you don't want to, and then I'll do something else. Whatever you want, Van.
You can't do that to an old retired guy. But let me say this. I'll say a few words here during the procurement portion and the planning portion of the project. One of the things when I came on board, which was, I don't know, fall of 2000, was it, or earlier than that? Anyway, you ran into a lot of good people, particularly the county project managers, and I see some of those. I see Pat is still around, and Carol is around, and, of course, Lulu, I can't forget about Lulu, So, but anyway, one of the things that I learned real quickly was during that particular part of the project was we had the evaluation of the proposals. Well, the first one fell by the wayside rather quickly. The second one, we had a little more difficulty with the tech guys from the bigger counties, because their view at the time was that if it wasn't blue, it couldn't work, okay? Meaning that if it wasn't IBM, it wasn't gonna work. So we learned quickly that, we finally brought those guys around, and then we started the evaluation of the proposals. The thing I remember most about that part of it is we collectively, mostly the project managers and myself, is the interviewing of the candidates that were being put forth by the vendors, okay? One of the things I remember the most, I was rather reluctant in the beginning about doing all this interviewing stuff. But then Betty told me, Stan, we have got to do this. And boy, did she ever turn out to be right, okay? Because we learned a lot about the quality of the people that the vendors were putting forward. So once we got that out of the way, and we realized from the interviews and some of the other things that were going on, that the quality of the people that the vendors were putting forward was going to be making the project successful. And ultimately, by the time that I left, it was proven that that was the correct way to do things, okay? The project in itself, we had our ups and downs during that. We had a little bit of financial issues, right, Tom?
Yes, we did.
Well, I mean, for those of you not familiar with the finances, the state was going through the normal process of budget cuts, okay? Now, when you have a project like C4 that we were doing at the time, flow of money is important. The vendor doesn't work for free, the county don't work for free, and so on. But again, because of the quality of people, both at the state and the federal level and at the county, we all pull together and made it to the end, okay? And the end was me to retire on February 1st, 2005. So it was a wonderful project, okay? I still periodically check the website to see what kind of progress you guys are making out there, okay? And the dream of a statewide automated welfare system is within sight. So again, I want to thank everybody that was on the project. They did a wonderful job. And from what I'm seeing is continue to be moving it forward until the ultimate step where the entire state will be under one system. John, back to you.
Thanks, Van. Appreciate those words and that encouragement. Betty, why don't we go to you?
Absolutely. And hello, Mr. Vanderside.
Hello, Betty.
So I'm going to actually go back a little bit before Van and say, you know, once upon a time back in 1996, it was pretty much the Wild West for California saws back in those days. And there were four, I would say, extremely visionary and forward-thinking county welfare directors who got together and decided how they could do things and be more alike than different. And those were John Michelson from San Bernardino, Grover Omar from Merced, Jeff Jew from Stanislaus, and Dennis Boyle from Riverside. So those guys really paved the way. And then they appointed and charged 4 original county project managers with carrying out that vision of being more alike. Mary Chase from San Bernardino, Barbara Then Frederick from Stanislaus, Pat Reynolds from Riverside, and Van Vanderside was one of the original county project managers. So from Merced. So part of the charge was, and Wendy Batterman and I helped out with laying that foundation with those county project managers. So we did a BPR, we wrote an RFP and ran that procurement that Van was talking about. We got an APD budget approved and then cut and reapproved. And then we awarded to a company back then known as Anderson Consulting, and Mr. Hartman was the head of that ship and operated as the ship's captain along with Mr. Vanderside. It was a great time. We did go into a little bit of a pause situation where everyone affectionately termed that the SAWS pause, but we finally were able to get off the ground in March 2001, and I will say I still feel lucky and privileged to be part of that process.
Thank
Back
you,
to
Betty.
John.
I knew you were going to get choked up. Betty is one of the most saws carrying people I've ever seen. We'll just remove saws from that.
John,
One of the
there
most
was
caring
one thing
people.
that Betty didn't mention, okay? Back about 1989, she was a programmer on the Magic project. really turned out in the longer term was the real foundation for C4, with some minor exceptions here and there, right, Betty?
And we feel very fortunate to continue to have her working on behalf of CalSAWS and working through our procurements. And she's working with Tom, and we're fortunate to have Tom still involved in this. So Tom, a few words from you.
Yeah, this was a great project and still is. I remember starting at the old Arco Arena when we all had desks that were about 18 inches by 3 feet wide with dividers that were about a foot tall. And of course, the county project managers, as such a tight clique, had their own little section that people would either want to be close to or far away from, depending on what was going on. We took the longest time, I think, for a project to ever get approved. I think it was 18 months. From negotiation to completion. At the old Arco, we would have meetings where you'd wheel your chair over to open space. So it was bring your own chair. And one morning we came in and realized that the doors didn't actually lock. So for a while we put chains around them. And we had a kickoff meeting where, of course, people went to their county groups, and there was a really rowdy group in the corner, making all sorts of noise and carrying on. And there was this guy, Joel Acevedo, who was deemed the Funmeister, leading the San Bernardino group, who said, this is going to be a fun project. The county project managers were really like the key to making it all kind of come together. Betty kept Van and I from, diving off any cliffs inadvertently. And we all went, we all had our jobs and we all got along very well. One of the Accenture folks asked me as they were walking by Van's office and we were talking about something, and then we just laughed. And they said, do clients and Anderson Consulting people actually talk and laugh? I said, at the right times, yeah. And even though we might not agree, we always ended up working it out, Betty and Van and I. And it's still a fun project. And those of you who know Betty realize that she's one of those strange people who actually likes procurements. So we've been working together on a bunch of procurements and another big one coming up, but always a pleasure. And it's great to see everybody again. Van, we miss you. Betty, I see you all the time, so I don't miss you that much. Back to you, John.
I remember the chair thing, I used to sit on the trash can a lot in those days.
Yeah.
Because there weren't enough chairs to go around.
There weren't enough chairs.
The good old days before social distancing and doing things on Zoom.
Yeah,
You just actually got together and did things. The next person I wanted to maybe say a few words is Christine Dudley. OSI has always been a champion of saws, has always been there. As I said at the beginning, Christine has always been one of our own. And I think sort of reflecting on the saws partnership with OSI is really important. So Chris, a few words from you.
Sure. Hi, congratulations, everyone. It is great to see everybody. And I feel like it is home. I've been part of all of these SAWS projects. One of the things I really liked about my job is being high enough above, I kind of got to see the whole thing from the county, the project, client, program sponsor perspectives, and to see it all. And I think there'll be some common themes. What I wanted to talk about was in terms of people, the commitment and the dedication of all of the people involved on every level, and the partnerships, of course, county to county, county to state. I started with OSI in 2001, but I was not part of the procurement at that point. I was working on the ISAWS project. I started with C4 in 2004, just before go live, because there was concerns coming out of testing that the healthcare and child support interfaces were not functioning quite the way people would want them to. And so that led to some intense communication. If some of you will remember, I think your project directors will, long hours on the telephone trying to decide what to do. And the counties, what I remember, stepping up, Merced in particular, saying, okay, we'll do the manual effort, we'll check all these, every case as it goes through the interface. Incredible manual effort. It goes all the way down to the workers in the counties and their managers and the support that they got, and the concern for clients, and will those benefits go out correctly? And then the lessons learned from all of those things went from county to county within C4, leading to a successful on-time implementation according to schedule. And then, John, I believe I met you during CalWIN testing of that healthcare interface, the Medi-Cal interface, because the lesson learned was we need a lot more testing, and we need to make sure all of the partners are talking to each other to validate all that. So, and I think that those are the things that have benefited C4 through all the years, that individual effort and the working together, and the program sponsors, like someone said already, stepping in, and all the financial issues and so many things that have to be dealt with. It's so huge, and the fingers of who's involved and who has to help and who needs to weigh in is really pretty astounding when you think of all of the people involved, and vendor and consultant and all the way across. And so I think those lessons learned have been applied both to the other projects and within your project, and are what's going to carry CalSAWS forward into the future to success as well. So, and I'm like Van, I check in on the website every once in a while to see what's going on and see where you are. I read the CalSAWS buzz and see who's doing what and look at it. So just my congratulations and best wishes for all of what's ahead.
Thanks, Chris. It's funny, over the years, being involved in SAWS projects over 20 years and C4 specifically for 16 years, there's many people that said, what is the secret of C4? And after you say, well, it's the people. The other thing is, it's the governance. As you start to look at our governance process of back in the day, having CPMs, then RPMs, then RMs, and having a project steering committee and having that project steering committee being connected in, and then being able to take that model and make it regional when the ISAWS counties joined, and having a regional model that is built on good communication. And all of that then rolling up to a JPA board that's overseeing all these items and being connected to the county, the place where these services get delivered and prioritized, is really the secret sauce that's really made this successful, is that governance model and the people. And as we've all been laughing and we've been flipping back and forth between pages, because hopefully everybody will get their cameras on at a certain point in time, we have some of our past and present project steering committee members, JPA board members, and I think this is just a good time to be able to hear from them. Joel, did you want to introduce some folks?
Hi, John. I think Scott Pettigrove is on the call. Scott?
Hi, everybody. I was looking at everybody's pictures and I noticed mine is the funkiest looking of the lot because I'm at home trying to figure out how to get my computer to work as usual. So it's so wonderful to see everybody. This last year, I think for all of us, has been a bit odd because of COVID and separation and so on. It's occurred. Hearing Van say something struck me that a lot of the folks that can start at the beginning of a road and look up that road and see the future, visionaries, some of whom started this project. Me, I'm the guy, I have to get down to the end of the road and look back before I can understand the amazing thing that I was involved in. And sitting in this phone call has struck me. I'm getting a little choked up myself. Just these box after box of amazing people, talented, nice, fun to work with, just so talented. And you think of what we built in California and something that will probably be built elsewhere. It's an amazing accomplishment. I was so proud to be part of it. I see so many of my friends and acquaintances from the past several years on the call. And so it's wonderful to see all of you, and congratulations to those of you who are still slaving away while I'm out hitting golf balls. So congratulations.
Thank you, Scott. Who else did we have on the call? I was trying to take a look at the participant list. We had a couple people who had RSVP'd who I'm not sure they're on the call. John Michelson, did you happen to join the call? I don't see him on here. I've been searching for him. Kathy Harwell?
Hi. Yeah, what a incredible opportunity to come together. And so thank you, John, and the team that really brought us here today. It has been quite a journey. And I too get emotional when I see everybody. When I think about the project from the beginning to where we are today, it's always been about the desire to do something better for those that we serve. It's always been the heart of what this project's always been about. And I can remember times when we sat around the table and you couldn't tell who a county person was, who a state person was, or who a contractor or vendor was. We were one team and always one team. We each had very different roles, but it was always working together to find the best solution, even in the most challenging times. And you know, when we're talking about that night that the decision was being made to go live or not go live, I was sitting at that table. And I can remember vividly those conversations, and it was all about trust. about commitment and trust and doing the right thing. And so I look at all of you now and I think about, where we began, the 4 counties. And yes, Scott and Van, Magic was there, but I have to say the SAWS piece of it, the other county is the 2 systems. I think they were equal, but yes, Magic was at the forefront. And there's always been that little competition too. And, it's just been, an honor and privilege. I was thinking, when we went live, we had our 4 counties and we thought that was the most massive thing ever. And it was historical to bring 4 counties together and do a welfare system, right? And we had our bumps and glitches. And now today, look where we are. And it's because of the vision, right? All counties coming together on one system in a way that we can share information and data and serve the community. And I think this year, above all years, has been really a true testament to what our SAWS system, this system, can do to serve the community. We're sitting here together, right, in this environment, in a way that we've never done before. We've served customers in a way that we've never been able to do before, and in a way that we would never have been able to do if it hadn't been for a system like this, where we have online portal capability, where we have call centers, where we have all sorts of different technology imaging, and we can share documents across counties. I mean, I can go on, and it's just been for me an honor and a privilege to be a part of this and to be a part of such a great group of people. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, John, and all of the founders that brought us to where we're at today. This process has been a very, very long road. At this time, we're going to share a presentation called The Journey. Anthony, turn it over to you. And everybody, please mute your microphones at this point.
access to health and social service benefits.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the See For Yourself portal, the online, customer-focused component of the C4 system. C4 is an integrated, web-based public assistance system that supports the determination of eligibility for TANF, SNAP, Medicaid, and several other benefit programs to over 2 million residents of 39 counties in California.
One, two, three.
Wow, that's a great walk down memory lane. I remember a lot of those times. It's really. Now I have the extreme pleasure of introducing one of the original CPMs from Riverside County, Pat Reynolds, who will share some of her story from C4. Pat, can you turn your camera on?
It is on.
There you are.
Oh,
You're on.
great. Hello, everybody. It's so good to see you all. Van, it's good to see you. So many people have already mentioned all of the highlights of how we got to where we are. And I just remember business process reengineering and how the group there, Betty Lundy, I think, were you Renaissance Government Solutions at that time? I don't even remember the name. It's changed a couple times, but I just remember getting the 4 counties and starting to do that mindset to go to a single system, and how we were all in our boxes and we didn't want to leave our processes, and how, you know, we pried our fingers off of those, and you had us drill down and become different, and then build us back up as a single entity. That was amazing. So kudos to that team for getting us into that mindset. And we did it all on yellow Post-its. So rock on, rest in peace, Judy Scarborough. The other thing was when we finally were in development, and we were working together and having all those meetings. You know, we had agendas, we had minutes, we had action items, and everybody had to meet their deadlines. And that was a big shift for not just us, but for all the people we were carrying along with us in the counties on this journey. So thank you to Lauren Nackman and Julie Baker for taking my crying calls and screaming calls in the middle of the night sometimes when I was pulling my hair out trying to get things done. It was a challenge. Going up to the project and watching things hum and buzz along was awesome. And then going back to the counties and convincing them everything's going to be all right. It wasn't always the easiest thing, but we always made it work. And I think it was everything from the catered lunches when we had the county folks up there, to the free coffee that Accenture provided to the project. Mary Chase mentioned that the other day. We actually had a little Zoom call, the CPMs, last week to kind of go down memory lane by ourselves and talk about what was important back in the day. So I think we all agree that it was an experience of a lifetime. It certainly made us better managers and employees and working on the C4 project. And we were very grateful for the opportunity. And I'm just thrilled. When we interviewed Seth Richmond way back for the key staff interviews, I remember he had that look in his eye, and it was world domination. He wasn't going to stop at 4 counties. You could just tell he was already looking at the next project and the next project. So I don't know where you are right now, Seth. I don't know if you're on this call, but you made it happen. You and Betty are 2 of the people that I remember from the very, very beginning. And thank you for helping us all get here. It was amazing.
Thank you, Pat. Quick little story here while we're switching PowerPoints and presentations. Pat and Mary Chase interviewed me for my first position at C4 as it was a caseworker as the position to come on to this project. And I remember very vividly walking into this dark room on Sunwest Boulevard in San Bernardino at the 3rd floor. And there were these 2 people, these 2 amazing women who gave me a shot, gave me a chance. And I just wanted to give them a gratitude shout out for giving me an opportunity way back when. So thank you, Pat, and thank you, Mary, for giving me a chance.
Well deserved.
Thank you. Anthony, I think if you're ready, we're going to do the actual 20-year slideshow presentation, which is not what we just did. That was the sunset and starting of the project. And now we're going to get into the fun stuff. Anthony, are you ready? Let's go ahead and do the 20-year celebration video. Wow. Brings up some great memories, and a lot of people I missed very dearly showed up in that. We're going to do something a little different right now. We're going to do something where we're going to, if we could take it off of speaker view, and let's just put the grid of all the people who are on the call. We're going to do something different. We're going to do a video countdown of people from different time frames throughout the project. What we're going to do is when I call out when you started the project, go ahead and turn your camera on so we can see the people who started the project at that time. Remember, this is just when you started, not where you're at today, just when you started. If you started a long time ago, we'll do that. Can we take it off of, are we off on gallery view? There we go.
Everybody could just select gallery view from the very top.
If you can select gallery view, and if you're not in this section, please turn off your cameras so that when you turn your cameras on, you can turn your microphone on, so it'll bring all of those people current. So let's everybody turn their cameras off, and then we're going to start piece by piece. First, if you were part of the planning procurement before ARCO and the C4 DD&I at the ARCO building, turn on your cameras and your microphones. I should see like Cindy and Cheryl and Virginia, Mary Ellen, all those people that started at the ARCO and before ARCO with all the procurement and the planning sessions. These are the people that got us off the ground when we started this. And there's multiple pages. So as you go, you'll see multiple pages of people. So this is the first group of people. Started the project in procurement planning and at C4 DD&I at ARCO. Okay, everybody turn their cameras off.
I know, Stefan, you should be on, right? You're the Allen Wrench man.
Yep, I'm here still.
Okay.
Hey, Stefan.
Fisher, Fogarty, Shayla.
Oh my God, there is Mike Fisher.
Come on, you guys.
I've been trying to reach out to you, Mike.
You should.
Okay.
Mike's aged.
All right, let's turn these off. Let's go to the second group of people. The second group of people will be those who are part of the DD&I starting at the Rancho office, anybody who did C4 reports project and C4 final acceptance. If that's where you started, turn on your cameras now. We already got the early people, now these are the second group of people. Started at Rancho office, C4 project, reports project, and final acceptance. Turn your cameras on and your microphones and say hi to everybody so we can see everybody who's that.
I'm looking for Jessica and Sean. Is Roger on? You know, you guys work with me on reports.
I see James.
Yay. Colleen.
That's awesome. Seeing all these faces.
Jerry's in the dark.
There.
Hey.
Hey, Jerry.
Jerry
Hey.
needs self-delight.
Awesome. Okay, Lulu, we'll turn it
Yes.
over for the next couple.
All right, so we're going to turn off our cameras. Now, if you are part of the ISOS migration, go ahead and turn on your cameras. Woohoo! Look at you all. ISOS team. The happy crowd. Nice. All right. Now the next group that we're going to call on is that if you came down to LA County or you were in C4 and you worked on the LRS DD&I project or supporting the LRS system for LA County, please go ahead and turn on your camera. So I'm looking, oh, there's Mike, yay! Wendy, I think, Lori, yes. Luz. There we go, we see all the people, Demas. Keith, yes. Paul, yay. All right. Now, I'm going to say we'll turn off the camera. And anyone that was part of the CalSOS, you are here today taking the system to statewide. If you're on the CalSOS project, please go ahead and turn on your camera. These are the people that are not retired, getting a paycheck.
Yeah.
Did I say that? Look at Helen, she still looks the same. Isn't that great? All right, Joel, you want to do the next one?
Absolutely. Now we're going to do, everybody turn your cameras off. Now we want to do a special recognition for a very select group of people. If you've been on the project the entire 20-year period, we'd like to do a special shout out for pioneers and dedicated individuals who stayed throughout the journey. Please turn on your cameras if you started back in 2001 or at the ARCO building or before, and you're still on the project today. And this should probably be about 10 or 15 people who've been here the entire time and are still actively working on the project.
So I think, Joel, you said that some of us that might have taken a break can also.
Oh yeah, if you were off for a year or two to go to a different project and you came
Doesn't
back,
count.
absolutely. But you started pre-planning ARCO building and you're still here today. These are the dedicated individuals who helped us get this project off the ground, who walked us through BPR, who walked us through the requirements analysis. And these are the people who've stuck through this project. And I'm honored to be one of the few people that's still here since way back then. Let's give a round of applause virtually.
I'm going to still shout out Tom. You should be on. Seth, Lisa.
I see Tom. I see Tom on my screen.
Sorry. You see
I'm
Tom.
here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is somebody taking a screenshot of this?
We're recording this.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Even John Dre, right? You've been here since 2001 and you're still here. Dre.
Yes. But these are the people who we're absolutely grateful for at this project for taking us down this path and this journey.
You just turn the polls back on.
Okay. Thank you for that last piece. I'm going to go to our final section of this presentation, the celebration. We'd like to thank everyone for joining us on this journey of 20 years. Thank you to the board members, alumni, and founders who took their time to be here with us today. We know that a lot of you are retired and you've taken your time, so we appreciate you guys being here. Thank you to people who've made the C4 system so successful. Anthony, if we pull up the closing slide, we have a guest book available where you'll be able to sign in, share a memory, tell a story. It's on Menti. There's the code right there, 70-93-79-3. If you go to menti.com and you enter that code, it'll give you a place where you can go in and drop a note so that people can see that you were here. Tell us the time, your name, the time frame that you worked here, if it was in the past or if it's still currently, so that we can get us a guest book of people who've been part of this project. We also are going to share the presentation internally on our SharePoint. We will be getting that out after this to the location of where it's at. It's going to be under the PMO section under events. And what's the last thing I have here? We're going to leave the meeting open for about a half hour. If you'd like to stick around and go in and share and talk to people, we're going to leave it open for about a half hour. But I just want to say thank you for giving me the honor of a lifetime of being the host of the 20-year celebration of the C4 project. It's been a part of my life. I never lived farther than 8 miles from my parents from the time I was born till I was 31, and then I moved 460 miles away to be a part of something that not only changed my life, but changed lives of millions of people across the state of California. Thank you again. Lulu, did you have anything else you want to add before we close?
Bring out the champagne, the drinks, turn on your camera. We are just going to hang out and it's all freestyle so people can talk, chat, catch up. Thank you again, everyone, for being here. We love you. And it's been a great honor for all of us to be, we made a lot of friends. So let's party.
Went ahead and did Uber Eats to all of our addresses for that champagne and cake, right, Lulu?
It's faster to just go to your refrigerator.
I can do that right there.
Let's go ahead and stop recording. Let's go ahead and stop recording, Mary Kate.